Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I want to thank you. You know, there's like 7 accidents outside. I have never seen anything like it. It cannot be like this. It's going to be fine. It stops tonight at 2 o'clock, we think. So nobody's going to have any excuses. This is an incredible turn. We have a blizzard, or at least a very bad storm. And to have this many people, I want to thank everybody. You know, thank you. So this is now crunch time. We've got a movement going that's been incredible. Everybody's talking about cover of Time magazine last week. They have a picture of me from behind. I was extremely careful with my hair. They have a massive crowd out in front, and they talk about a movement, and that's what it is. It's a movement, folks. It's a movement. And this is a movement where we say, make America great again. We're going to make America great again. We're going to make America greater than ever before. It's going to be something really, really special. What we're doing hasn't been done before. They're all talking about it. You come from all over. And whether I go to Dallas, we had 21,000 people in Dallas in the Mavericks Arena, packed. No matter where we go. Mobile, Alabama, 35,000 people. The other night in South Carolina, we had 12,000 people, 3 days' notice, 12,000 people. It's been incredible, no matter where we go. And you look at tonight, in a blizzard, we have, I guess, a lot of people. I don't know how, but there's a lot of people. This is a lot of people. And I won't mention names, but I said, how many people are at the other candidate, okay? Oh, no, look at this guy back there. Look at that guy. Believe it or not, this is, do I look like that? Please tell me I don't. You know, we've got all these Trump impersonators. Please don't get up here, let me see. Believe me, I've never seen this guy before. I've never seen him. Come on up here. Oh, no. Tell me this isn't Trump. Look at this guy. Melania, would you have married this guy? I don't know. Look at that. That's great. Congratulations, man. I hope you're making a lot of money, okay? Good luck. So we have something very, very special going on. We're going to have a country that's smart. We're going to have a country that's tough, that makes the proper decision, that makes the right deals. Our trade deals are so bad. I have the greatest deal makers in the world, the richest men, the richest women, people that are truly successful, the best business people in the world. We have them in this country. We don't use them. We use political hacks. These are political hacks to negotiate with China, with Japan, with Russia, with Mexico. Mexico is taking business away from us, folks, like you wouldn't believe. What are we going to do with Mexico? We're going to build a wall. Going to build a wall. And this is going to be a real wall. This is going to be a wall that's going to stop the heroin and the drugs from coming to New Hampshire, believe me. This is going to stop it. And my favorite part, I'll only do it once because I don't do it all the time. You know what's coming. But I want to do it just one time because this is sort of our final love fest, all right? Now, tomorrow will be an even better one, but this is the one, because tomorrow you have to get out and you have to vote no matter what. I say it all the time. If you're sick, if you're really like you can't move, you're close to death, your doctor tells you it's not working, your wife is disgusted with you, she said, I'm leaving. No matter what, she says, darling, I love you, but I've fallen in love with another man. I don't give a damn. You gotta get out to vote, right? Right? You got to get out to vote. My wife doesn't like it when I say that. She says, you shouldn't say that, but that's okay. Speaking of my wife, Melania, come up. Come on up. She is so great, so understanding. I took the escalator ride down. Do we remember the famous, it's the most famous escalator in the world right now, I will say. And I said to Melania, you know what? It takes guts to run for president, believe me. I've never done this before. I've never done it before. But it does take guts. And I said, you know, we're at the top of the escalator, and look at back there. Look at the press. Turn around and look at these people. Look at that. They start booing. They start booing. Oh, by the way, look at that. Mika and Joe. Mika and Joe. Look at that. We've got them all. We've got them all. But look at the press. By any standard, they have, I think, 600 requests. Look at that. That's like, darling, the Academy Awards. The fact is, there is something special. So I'm standing on top of the escalator. I look downstairs. You can take that and double it. And I said, we have no choice. We have to do it. And it does take courage. And I took a deep breath like this. And I said, let's go. And she has been so unbelievable. She has been so understanding. I've been campaigning. True. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Because I never thought I'd say this. You know, I'm a business guy. I create jobs, etc., right? We do great deals. I've been working and campaigning since June 16th, just about. We've been #1 in the polls every single week. And I've been campaigning, and I've been away, and it's been very tough. But I will tell you, I've loved doing it. I've met the most unbelievable people. I call Melania all the time. I say, it's incredible. I say, we had the most incredible crowd in Dallas. We had the most incredible crowd in Oklahoma. She said, really, I couldn't tell. I said, what do you mean you couldn't tell? It was broadcast live all over the United States and beyond. But the cameras never leave my face. I said, well, what's going on? And then I figured out why. Nobody wants to see that we have the biggest crowds. The biggest crowd for a Republican candidate tonight is 212 people. And look what we have. Is that correct? Look what we have. And that's on top of the fact, you know, we have 4 of our incredible, wonderful executives that have been working with Corey and the whole group, and they're now lying on the side of the road. They're in accidents. Everybody's got accidents. And I want to make sure they're okay. I think they're okay. Hope, are they okay? They are. If they're not, nothing I can do at this point, right? So I just want to thank everybody. Melania, do you want to say hello? Thank you.
We love you, New Hampshire. We together, we will make America great again.
Oh, she's going to be a great First Lady. I want to just tell you one thing. One thing I will tell you. She's beautiful, but she's more beautiful even on the inside. She's a great person, and boy, is she smart. She is smart. And speaking of smart, has anybody ever heard of Ivanka? People love Ivanka. Come on, Ivanka, get up here, Ivanka. And there's Jared. Stand up, Jared. Say hello to the crowd. Come on, Jared. Jared is a very, very successful real estate man in New York. I'm proud of Jared. So Ivanka, famous Ivanka from The Apprentice, they were begging us. NBC wanted to renew for a long time. And they wanted Ivanka, they wanted Don and Eric. I said, I can't do it. I really can't do it. Steve Burke came up, who's a great guy from Comcast, the boss, came up to my office. He said, Donald, we want to renew. I said, Steve, I think I'm running for president. This was about 2 months before the famous escalator trip. I said, I think I'm running for president. He said, Donald, I don't think you are. Come on, let's renew. And then they went out at the upfronts and they announced that we're running and that we're going to do The Apprentice, which caused me a lot of problem. because I told these guys I'm running, and nobody believed it after they announced. But one of the things that they really like, they just love, well, I'll tell you what they really like. They like the ratings, okay? That's what they really like. But we renewed The Apprentice. I told them I'm not doing it. And I'll tell you what, I don't care what happens, no matter what. This has been the amazing experience, the most amazing experience of my life. And you people have made it that way. You people have made it that way. And I told Ivanka and I told the kids that we're not going to do The Apprentice anymore. We're going to do this. We're going to run. Ivanka is about 2 weeks or maybe less from having a baby. And in Iowa, I said, you know, I think she's going to have a baby, maybe in Iowa. And I know that I would have won Iowa. I probably did win it anyway if you add the Carson votes. No. If you add the Carson votes, I think I probably won it, but we don't get it. We only care about New Hampshire right now. But I just want to tell you, if she has the baby tonight in New Hampshire, that guarantees victory tomorrow. Please, Ivanka, have the baby tonight.
I should be so lucky. New Hampshire, thank you so much. It has been amazing spending the last couple of hours here, and obviously over the previous weeks I've been here quite a bit, but my father has called me so many times and said just the energy, the enthusiasm, the spirit of the crowds here are amazing, and it really encourages us and keeps the momentum going. So thank you so much for being here. I have been watching my father work his whole entire life. He's worked incredibly hard to build an unbelievable business, to provide jobs for tens of thousands of people that we employ at the Trump Organization, and to inspire each and every one of those people. So to now see him working this hard for all of you, and that's what he wants to do. He wants to make America great again, and I have no doubt that he will just do exactly that. So I've never known him to do anything other than rise to the occasion, and I'm sure that will happen here. So come out and vote tomorrow and enable that outcome. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you.
And Eric and Don, just stand up, kids. I'll tell you, they have been all over the place. We have Vanessa, who's married to Don, and Lara, who's married to Eric. And I just want to thank, they have been on television today. They've been on television literally more than me. So I want to thank them. They've been incredible. Thank you very much. We also have some friends of ours, and we have the chief. The chief, where's Nick? Where's our, they're getting rid of some protesters, look. Are the police the greatest? Are the police the greatest? Look at that, protesters. I told you I like protesters because that's the only way the cameras show how big the crowd is. Sometimes we even stage protesters. Thank you, fellas. I appreciate, enjoy your stay. Where's Nick Willard? Nick, Chief of Police. Get over here, Nick. Get over here, Nick. This guy is so incredible right here. The police department has been so incredible. So, Nick, I want to thank you. We went over the other day. We met people who are in seriously good condition. Nobody going to mess with your police department. Is that right? So, Nick, thank you, and thank the department. I appreciate it. So, a couple of weeks ago, a certain politician, nice politician, Nikki Haley, said in a speech, a rebuttal speech, that referring to me, although my name wasn't mentioned, and then ultimately it was confirmed, that I'm angry, that I'm very angry, and that the people that are with me are very angry. And the people that are with me are really with me. Those aren't the people that are 20% and they can flip. In fact, one of the things that's come out in all of the studies is that the people that are with Donald Trump, they're seriously with us. Like, they're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. Whereas other guys, I think, including the two categories, we're at 92%, nobody's changing. Whereas other guys are at 18%. In other words, they'll change if the wind changes. My people stick with us. And it was made, and the statement was made, that we're angry people. We're on the cover of Time, we're on the cover of all these magazines. And I said, we're not angry people. We don't want to be angry. But I said, right now, I will agree. Me, personally, and a lot of the people that are with me, we are angry because we're angry at incompetence. We're angry at the Iran deal, where we give away $150 billion and get nothing. We're angry at our trade deals, where China is making so much money that we've rebuilt their country, and in the meantime, our country and the infrastructure of our country is going to hell. We're angry when we make a Sergeant Bergdahl deal, who's a dirty, rotten traitor, where 6 people were killed looking for him and trying to bring him back, killed. 6 young, great people killed looking for Sergeant Bergdahl. And we make a swap knowing that he was a traitor. They had a colonel and a general talking to these people and talking to the people that worked with him. They knew he was a traitor. They knew it. And we make a deal. Sergeant Bergdahl, we get, and they get 5 of the worst killers that they've coveted. They've coveted for the last 9 years, okay? We're tired of deals like this. We're tired of Obamacare, which we will repeal and replace. Healthcare is going up 25, 35, 45, 50% in the last year and a half. It's going to die in 17 anyway. It has to, unless the Republicans work out another deal, like the budget deal. The deal they worked out 3 weeks ago is a disgrace. So Obamacare, we're repealing, we're replacing, but we're angry. And I said, yeah, I'm angry. Now, when they asked, it was on the debate, the previous debate, because I skipped the last one before the one the other night, and I raised $6 million for the veterans, right? And somebody said, do you regret skipping the debate? And I said, no, not at all, I don't. They said, what do you mean? You might have won Iowa. I said, I did win Iowa, but I said, I don't regret it because we raised so much money for the vets, and we wouldn't have really been able to do that at another time. That was just a point in time. It was a point in time. But you have to be treated properly by the networks. Last night, I understand, for the last debate, I heard, somebody read to me, that they had the highest rating for a debate, a Republican primary debate, in 21 years, and they think it's much longer than that. They had a great rating. What would they have had if I wasn't in the debate? What do you think? I don't know. Watching Bush and watching this one and that one, I think they wouldn't have done so well. Who knows? I hope they do. I want everybody to do well. And we have some good people. We have some really good people. But they had this phenomenal rating. ABC just announced it. Next time they're going to get the opening a little bit better. You know what I'm talking about. And by the way, in all fairness to Ben Carson, you could not hear a thing. Because people were wondering, why is Ben standing there? Well, we were all standing there. You couldn't hear a thing. So it was nobody's fault. It was actually a production mishap. And it makes for more exciting, right? Isn't it more exciting? Right? So we are people that are not going to be angry for long. Because if I get elected president, all of the things that you can't stand looking at, that you can't believe is happening to our country, all of these horrible deals that you see being made, many of them being made because everybody on the stage with me and on the other side, they're taken care of by special interests. They have their lobbyists, their special interests. They're getting tremendous amounts of money. You won't be angry anymore. You'll be happy. You're going to be very happy. You're going to be very, very happy. Telling you. And it won't take a long time. It won't take a long time. You know, recently I just asked for tickets. I wanted tickets for the debate. I said, you got to give me tickets. Star power, right? I figured I had a lot of power. We get 20 tickets. Everybody gets like 20 tickets. So we called the RNC. Corey, call the RNC. We want tickets. Well, we can't. Who's got them? All of the donors have it. The donors. The donors. You know what the donors mean? I said, that's no good. I don't have any donors because I'm self-funding. I don't have donors. So the donors don't mean donors. The donors, that's a nice word, donor, but it's not donors. It's special interests, lobbyists, all these people that have total control over the candidates. They had all the tickets. Now, I must tell you, Time magazine did a poll, and the poll, who won the debate? And I won the debate with almost 70% of the vote. Number two had 6% of the vote, so I had 70. Believe me, I have no power over Time magazine, but I had 70% of the vote. Number two had 6% of the vote, and then it went down from there. So we do well. I said, I can't get any tickets. And then I announced during the debate, because I'd hear these people make these really lame statements, and you'd hear the place erupt in applause. I'd say, what the hell's going on over here? But I understood. I understood. And I announced on television, the reason the audience is clapping for certain people up here is because they're donors and special interests and lobbyists, and they have total control over the people. And they don't like me because I'm like their, and I know many of them. Actually, they do like me. I'm even friends. But if they ask me to do something, and if I'm president, I'm saying bye-bye, I'm working for these people out here. So a thing came up the other day, and a friend of mine calls me. He's a doctor, great doctor. And he said, do you know, Donald, that the United States, which is the largest purchaser of drugs in the world, massive, massive amounts, for Medicare, which we're going to save, for Social Security, for everything, but mostly Medicare. So we're going to save Social Security, too, by the way. We're going to seriously, I mean, you've been paying in for years, and now they want to start chopping away. They want to chop away at Social Security, by the way, like they want to chop away at the Second Amendment, which is not going to happen, okay? Like, honestly, like they're doing with religion, like they're chopping away at Christianity. And believe me, they are doing that. And this may or may not be a somewhat religious audience, but I will tell you one thing. Very soon, we're going to start saying Merry Christmas again when it's Christmas in the stores. Very soon. So, my friend calls me up, a great doctor. He says, you know, Donald, you're running and you're doing great, and I'm so proud of you. I love to hear it. I say it again. And he said, but you know, with the medical and with the drugs, the United States, the largest purchaser, they don't negotiate price. It's almost as if you want to go and you want to buy drugs. There's drugs to make you feel better, right? Drugs to make you feel better. You want to buy drugs, you have to get drugs, you go to the drugstore, you buy it off the counter. The United States is paying like a price like that. I said, you have to be kidding. He said, I don't know why. I said, I do. Because the drug companies have an unbelievable lobby, and these guys that run for office, that are on my left and right, and plenty of others, they're all taken care of by the drug companies, and they're never going to put out competitive bidding. So I said to myself, wow, let me do some numbers. If we competitively bid drugs in the United States, we could save as much as $300 billion a year. Think of that. No, think of it. Think of it. Think of it. That's one element. And the reason, I mean, you take a look, he's a friend of mine. And we don't have that much television there, just about 600 people back there. So I won't insult him. And he happens to be a very good guy. Woody Johnson, right? Woody Johnson, of Johnson & Johnson. He's Jeb Bush's campaign finance manager. He's running Bush's campaign. Now you tell me, seriously. Well, listen to this about Bush. Number one, he's in favor of Common Core. Number two, he's weak on, no, Bush he loves Common Core. He's the only one that I know that likes it, but that's okay. We're going to bring education back locally. No more Common Core. No more Common Core. He's also weak on immigration, and that's no good. Remember, they come as an act of love. Remember that whole deal? Education's very interesting because we're number 30 in the world. You have Norway, Sweden, Denmark, China, and plenty of others. Then you have third world countries. And number 30 is the United States. So we're 30 in the world in education, and we're number 1 per pupil in cost, by far. Number 2 isn't even close. So that's the way it is. Not going to happen that way anymore, folks. Not going to happen that way. Now, with savings, so the drug companies, they have tremendous power. If they're talking about $300 billion, I mean, that's a lot of money. $300 billion. And then you wonder why. Because a lot of people say, how could people be so stupid as to not bid things? They know it's wrong, but they're politicians. All talk, no action. They're good at one thing, getting reelected. You have some good politicians, but you have mostly people that think about, how do I get reelected? Okay? How do I get reelected? So I'm the only one. I'm self-funding. So when these guys see me, who I know, many of the guys, I'm looking at the room. I'm standing at the debate. I'm watching Marco sweating like a dog on my right. I'm watching Ted Cruz say, no, I would never say that about Donald, but he said something bad, and they asked him, would you say it again? He said no, and I like that he didn't do that, because we would have ended up in a big fight. But it was nice that he didn't, honestly. So I have him here. I have Marco. Honestly, Marco was having a hard time. And he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. I mean, again and again and again, after 3 times, I have a very good memory. And after 3 times, I said, wait a minute, he said that about 3 minutes ago. Then I said, wait, he said that 2 minutes ago. It's the same exact thing. So after the 5th time, I said, what the hell's going on over here? But we need really smart, really tough, really fair people with great heart that want to take care of your health care, want to take care of people that can't afford health care. You know, it's very interesting. We're going to bring down the price of health care. We're going to bring it down big league, big league, because President Obama lied 28 times. He said, you keep your doctor, said you keep your plan, 28 times. I kept saying, why doesn't somebody get sued for fraud when you do that? 28 times. And even Democrats went because of what he said, and they wish they weren't in that position. So he lied. But you know what? A lot of people give me heat because I say, we got to take it. There's a small group, relatively, of people on the bottom that are not going to be able to be taken care of. And I say, we have to, as Republicans, we have to take care. Does anybody not want to take care of them? I said, we're not going to have people dying on the streets. We're going to get them into a hospital and take care of them. We're going to because we're not going to have people dying in streets. And I say that. And I said, and all the time I get applause. And then they say, oh, he wants to do this, he wants to do that. That's not the public. Let me tell you, the Republican way is people can't take care of themselves. We have to help them. We're not going to let them die. And I say it all the time. We're not going to let them die on the sidewalk. We're not going to let them die on the street. And it's not even a lot of money. We have hospitals doing no business. We got to get them fixed up. But we're going to save tremendously on health care. It's going to be private. We're going to take the lines out of play. We're going to have so many different options. It's going to be so much better. It's going to be less expensive. You looked at your deductibles. Not only are your rates going up, but you look at deductibles right now. Unless you get hit by a tractor, you'll never, ever be able to use your health care. And look at Washington. They don't even want the Obamacare. They don't have to have it. I wonder why. They don't have to have it. So we're going to take care of it, folks, and we're going to have so many great things. And by the way, we're going to competitive bidding. And I'll tell you what, we're going to save so much money, and those drug companies are going to hate me so much. Oh, I know them. I was going to say, so I'm at the debate, and I'm looking at the audience. And it was supposed to be children, college kids and young kids. And it wasn't, because these rich guys bought all the tickets from the college students. I don't actually totally believe that. I actually think that the RNC gave them the tickets, to be totally honest. I think they actually got the tickets, not through buying. But a lot of them did buy tickets. So I look outside, I say, wow, that's a lot of people out there. I know half these people. I know the lobbyists. I know most of the special interests. And I'm looking at that audience, and I'm saying, this is bad stuff. But I had the most beautiful applause from Don and Eric and Melania in the front row. That's about it, even though I won. But I understood. So you have to understand what's going on. A lot of times you think that the politicians are doing horrible, horrible deals, and they are horrible. But you think that they're really, really not smart people. They are actually smart people, but they're working for themselves. They're doing what their lobbyist, who puts up millions and millions and millions of dollars every time they run. I'm just talking about the honest stuff. This is all honest stuff. There's other stuff that goes on that, you have to prove, right? I mean, you look at some of Hillary's speeches where she gets a fortune and she's, give me a break. Take a look at that. Nobody, right? No, nobody looks at that. Bill makes a speech, gets a tremendous amount of money, far more than, and then all of a sudden miracles happen, right? Miracles happen. And I imagine somebody's looking at that. And by the way, a recent poll just came out that I am beating Hillary so badly in the general election. So, very important. So, just like we do, because people say, how are you going to straighten out the budget? It's a mess. Just like we do with what I just told you about medication and buying medicines and all of this, same thing happens with the military. We're going to build our military so strong, but we're buying equipment and we're buying things that our generals don't even want. We're buying things that they don't want. We're buying planes they don't want instead of another one because that company has better lobbyists and they're stronger. We're going to get them the equipment they want. We're going to save a lot of money, and we're going to build ourselves so strong. Nobody, I'm telling you, nobody is going to play with us. We don't want to use it. Nobody is going to play with us. We have situations right now where we have the migration, and we're accepting people in, and we're accepting them in by the thousands. And you look at New Hampshire, you look at this area with the problems you have with the drugs. We're allowing people to come into this country that we have absolutely no idea who they are, where they come from. Are they ISIS? Maybe, maybe not. Somebody said at least 90% of them aren't. Oh, really? If we had 10%, look at what those two people did 2 months ago. Radicalized people. They killed 14 people. 2 people, young people. They killed 14, and plenty of people right now lying in the hospital, gravely wounded. Look at Paris. 130 people killed. Now, the strongest gun laws anywhere in the world is France and Paris. People don't have guns except for the bad guys. So they walk in, they start shooting. They say, you, get over here. Boom. You, get over here. They kill 130 people. There's a tremendous number of people right now in the hospitals. If guns were on the other side of that equation where the bullets could fly in a different direction, you wouldn't have had that kind of carnage. You wouldn't have had it. You wouldn't have had it. So we are going to protect our Second Amendment 100%. Nobody's going to play with us. Nobody. So this all started when I came down and I made the statement to the press, and I talked about illegal immigration. Oh, did I get it? Did I get it? Well, that was like tough. For 2-3 weeks, it was brutal. Then all of a sudden, people started saying, maybe he's got a point, maybe he's got a point. Then 4 or 5 weeks later, people are they're coming out really strong. They're saying, I think Trump's right. There is a lot of illegal immigration, and it's causing us a lot of economic harm, but it's causing us a lot of trouble from a criminal standpoint. Right now, as we speak, it was released last week, we have 179,000 illegal criminal immigrants. Illegal criminal. These are people that have been convicted of crimes, some very big crimes. That means we have 179,000 people here that have committed crimes that big crimes, that shouldn't be in the country. That's bigger, 179,000 people is bigger than any city by a lot in New Hampshire. That's a massive amount of people. That's a massive amount. So we're going to do something that's going to be, whether you like Dwight Eisenhower, no matter what you do, Dwight Eisenhower, I like Ike. Everybody said, nice guy. We either have a country, folks, or we don't. Remember this. We either have a country or we don't. So we're going to have to take people. We're going to get rid of those 179. And I don't want to put them in our jails. I don't want to put them in our jails. Our jails are costing us a fortune. We're bringing them back where they came from. And we're going to be respected by those countries, which were not respected at all by those countries. We're bringing them back where they came from. And let that country put them in prison for the next 25 years, because we're not doing it. And they're never, ever coming back to our country again. They're gone. Never. Now, but all of a sudden, we started seeing people are focused on it. I will say this. If I didn't bring up the subject of illegal immigration at my opening, when I announced I was running for president, you would not have anybody even talking about it. The other night on the stage, I won't mention who, somebody said, yes, and I'm very strong on illegal immigration. We will build a wall. He said it very lowly. We build, he's afraid that somebody's going to say, oh, that. And I go, what's this all of a sudden? Now, all of a sudden, I know I have two out of the group. They said the other night, another one's on television, said, yes, we have to have strong borders. We will build a wall. And my wife came up to me, Melania, she said, darling, did you hear that? That's the first time I've ever heard that said by anybody else but you. We have to build a wall. Walls work. Just ask Israel. Walls work. They work. I don't mean the little walls. I don't mean the little walls. I mean those walls, I mean serious walls. I mean Trump walls. We're going to... No. They work. They work. And they work if they're right. In Time magazine and a couple of magazines I read, I've been on the cover of Time magazine so much lately. When I was on last week, I didn't even know they were putting them in the cover. Can you imagine? That's when you're really hitting it big. When you're on the cover of Time magazine, you don't even know you're going to be on the cover. That's good. But they had like this ramp. They had a wall like this, and they had a ramp built over the wall, and then another ramp, and they have trucks going over the ramp. And they're loaded up with drugs. They have trucks going right over the... I didn't even know why they didn't just rip down the wall. It's so little. It would have been cheaper, right? But they have a ramp. It goes up. It goes down. They sell their drugs in the United States. A lot of them come over to here, to New Hampshire, and they get back on. They go back. They build ramps over the walls. And I'll tell you something. I met the Border Patrol people. They're phenomenal. The reason I met them is they called me, and they said, we'd love to meet you. And I went to Laredo, Texas. And it was incredible. These people are incredible. They can do the job. They're told to stand back. They're told don't touch anybody. They're told let people come in. They don't want that. These are incredible men and women, and they're standing there, and people are walking right in front. Beautiful equipment. Everything looks good. Everything's except for one thing. They're told don't do anything. And when they do something, they say give them a fine, let them go. They can go wherever they want. That's the end. You never see them again. We either have a country or we don't. We're going to be so strong. And just let me ask you one question about the wall. Who the hell is going to pay for the wall? What? So, the head of Mexico today said, there's no way we're paying for the wall. Please inform Mr. Trump. I said, the wall's going to just get bigger when he has that attitude. No. So we're going to build the wall. They're going to pay for the wall. The politicians they always come up to me when I say something. They used to come up and say, Donald, there's no way, honestly, that you're going to be able to build a wall, is there? I said, of course. It's like easy. I build massive buildings. It's much tougher. They said, you can't really do that, can you? I said, absolutely. Now, just so you understand, 15 years ago, they wanted to build a wall. You know why they didn't build it? They couldn't get an environmental impact statement approved. It's true. They couldn't because there were snakes, toads, rodents, all sorts of crap right in the way. They couldn't. Can you believe it? We can't build a wall, and you have China in the South China Sea ripping the hell out of the ocean and building military bases in the middle of the South China Sea. And we can't. Do you think, by the way, that China got an environmental impact statement? I don't think so. You know what they said? They said, we're going to build it. They started work the following morning. That's what happens. We are so left behind, and we worry about the carbon footprint. And I say, you know, I see Obama saying the single greatest problem this country has is global warming, okay? I'll tell you what, I just got outside. We got a blizzard outside. There's no warming. This is brutal. Somebody from New Hampshire said, this is one of the worst winters, you know. But he's talking about global warming. Then he gets on a very old 747 with the old engines that spew a lot of stuff, and he takes his wife and his two really beautiful daughters, and he goes in the 747 to Hawaii to play golf. And then he comes back, and then he has a speech on the carbon footprint. So, folks, we're going to have a whole different thinking. I've been saying for a long period of time, take the oil. Remember? Remember this about me. I was against, because I've had Hillary say, I don't like Donald Trump's tone. And I've heard Jeb say it too. I don't like Donald Trump's tone. You know, he's a low-energy guy, so he doesn't like my tone. But honestly, he said, and she said, and they said it the same day. And I thought to myself, well, I can tone it down. I'm a smart guy, I'll tone it down. And then I said, wait a minute. I turn on television. They're chopping people's heads off in the Middle East. If you're Christian, the head comes off. If you're not Christian, the head comes off. We haven't seen stuff like this since medieval times, all right? Medieval times. And people are worried about my tone. You heard the other night at debate, they asked Ted Cruz, serious question, well, what do you think of waterboarding? Is it okay? And honestly, I thought he'd say absolutely, and he didn't. He said, well, it's, you know, he's concerned about the answer, because some people, she just said a terrible thing. You know what she said? Shout it out, because I don't want to. Okay, you're not allowed to say, and I never expect to hear that from you again. She said, I never expect to hear that from you again. She said he's a pussy. That's terrible. 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 That's terrible. Now, what kind of people do I have here? Okay, what do I have? So you remember when, not so long ago, not so far from here, I had a group of people, we were doing question and answer, and somebody came up with a pretty tough statement about Obama, and the press got very angry because I didn't defend the president. Remember, I took a lot of heat, and I didn't reprimand the person that said it. So I want to just tell you right now, ma'am, you're reprimanded, okay? Can she stay? Can she stay? Okay. You're reprimanded. So for the press, this is a serious reprimand, just so the press does. So we have lined up to make some of the great trade deals and to take our documents that are so bad. We have lined up the finest business people in the world. They're all lined up. By the way, they call me. I don't even call them. These are great, great people. Some are nice. Some are horrible human beings. Some are people that you don't want to have dinner with, but they're great at what they do. I know the greatest negotiators in the world. We need them. That's how we got into the hole with these deals that I'm telling you about. And believe me, other facets of our economy, it's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. We're going to save so much money. I was hearing the other day, they were talking about the budget, and a political person said, it's his idea and it's his goal to have the budget balanced within 25 years. I said, 25 years? And he thought he was doing a good job. These are politicians, folks. They're never going to do it. And we're going to do it great. We're going to have a better country. We're going to have better services. We're going to have better roads and airports and hospitals. And we're going to pay less for them. We're going to pay less. You know, I'm building a big building right now on Pennsylvania Avenue that I got from the federal government. Obama Can you believe it? How good is that? Ivanka worked on, Ivanka, what a job she did. We at the old post office in Washington, D.C., right? We just announced, we're going to make it a world-class, one of the great hotels of the world. It's an incredible building. And we just announced we're 2 years ahead of schedule. We're going to have it open in September of this year. 2 years ahead of schedule. And we're under budget, ahead of schedule. Wouldn't it be nice if our country on its projects, instead of having a 2,000% cost overrun, boy, can you imagine how much those people make when you see these buildings and things was going to cost $200 million and it ends up costing $1.5 billion? Do you know how much money these people are making? So we're 2 years ahead of schedule. It's on Pennsylvania Avenue, and I don't give a damn if I don't make the White House. We're moving into that building. I'm going to be on Pennsylvania Avenue one way or the other. So I want to finish up because you got a bad evening out there and you have to drive. You have to do me a favor. I don't really care if you get hurt or not, but I want you to last until tomorrow, okay? So don't get hurt. If you're going to get hurt and if you're going to drive like a maniac, do it tomorrow after you vote. And I promise I will come and visit you in the hospital. I promise, all right? No. Okay, so I'm only kidding. I want you to be careful. But look, it's so important that we take care of our vets. Our vets are being treated so badly. And I have Al Baldessaro, who's with me all the time, who's the greatest guy there is, who loves the vets, who loves us, and who knows what we're doing. But we're going to take care of our vets. We're going to take care of our military. We're going to build up our military. It's going to be a thing of beauty. By the way, I have to tell you, it's the absolute cheapest thing we can do because nobody's going to play with us. It's the cheapest thing we can do. But we're going to take care of our health care. We're going to take care of every facet of our country. And we're going to start winning again. Folks, we're going to start winning again because we don't win anymore. We don't win on trade. We don't win on anything. We can't beat ISIS with our military. Can you imagine General George Patton? We can't beat ISIS. He would beat him by the time he walked down to the front row. We don't beat ISIS. We're going to start winning again. We're going to win on every single level of this country. We're going to win every single time we do something. We're going to win. We're not going to make stupid deals anymore. We're going to be led by smart people, and we're going to have our smartest people representing us. Now, I leave you with this. It's so important. It's so important. Tomorrow is going to be the beginning. I hear we have a lead. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me. Who the hell knows what the lead is? You have some snow. It looks like it's going to stop. It's so important. We have something so special going on. You have to go out. You have to vote. We have to celebrate tomorrow evening. We have to have a great victory. It's so important because we are going to make America great again. We are going to make America greater, greater, greater than it's ever been before. And I love you all. I love you all. You're special. We will see you tomorrow. Let's have a big, big victory tomorrow. We love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Amazing people. Thank you very much, New Hampshire. Thank you.